Hello again everyone, Age of Dune here, and we're back with another League of Legends Shoutcast. This game, we're going back to Korea again, as multiple teams from both EU and NA are all over there boot camping right now, and doing their best to really get better at the game so they can kick everybody's butt in Worlds. We'll see if that ends up happening, but we can hope, right? So, in this particular game, I managed to find a game with multiple people on it. We've got Unji Suzy. That is actually Cloud9's Balls. One of the few games he's actually played top over there. I noticed he plays a lot of ADC, which is kind of surprising. But apparently that is how he is choosing to level his account, or rank up his account. He is just playing the crap out of it, in large part Lucian. Which is kind of interesting. On his team with him is Kvo the Kelsier here. That is actually Cloud9's High. Mid laner, of course. Apparently he's going to be jungling this game. Looks like Ginkgo here, who, from what I see, was not a member of any of the teams, is actually going to be mid. Also on that team is European Deft, who you saw in the previous video, actually, is Fnatic's Rekkles. Not sure if we're going to see any sort of an engagement here, but we might. None of these actually seems to be anything except, well, that's kind of rude. None of them seem to be anything that are in a team that we want to, that we all know of right now. Except for this one, who I'm sure you could tell by the name, C9 Sneaky. Kind of obvious on that one. He named his very, very obviously. So, actually 4 members of multiple teams in this game, which is kind of cool. Sometimes it's working out, but a lot of times when you have a lot of members of multiple teams in the same game together, it ends up just being really bad for that team, because a lot of times it's like they don't really work together as well as, you know, when they're whoa. What the heck was that, man? I don't know what that was. I have a feeling he probably normally has smite on that key. He already smited, but apparently he kind of forgot about that. Tried to smite it again and ended up flashing instead. So that's a 300-second cooldown that he just blew there. So that's pretty unfortunate. But yeah, a lot of times when they're on a team together, it doesn't end up going so well together, because they just don't mesh. And you have multiple different play styles, and they expect each other somewhat more, because it's not just a solo game, it's a whole bunch of pros. So they actually play in a way that ends up really risking a lot, and it ends up really going against them. So we'll have to see if that ends up being the case here or not. Nice binding there onto European Deft. Rekkles, sorry. Alright, so up at the top lane here, we've got, like I mentioned, Unji Suzy, which is Cloud9's Balls. He's going to be against Maokai here. It's a Lulu versus Maokai game. Fairly common, so that's definitely promising that he is actually practicing fairly common meta picks right now. Ooh, Orianna just went down hardcore there to this enemy jungler Riven combo. The Riven and Orianna are going to be against each other. Orianna is played by Ginkgo. Alright, looks like Hyde's coming up here to go ahead and grab this XP while he can. And, you know, get a little bit of that mid in, since he is actually, you know, a mid laner. Probably misses it. Alright, down to the bottom lane, we've got European Deft, also known as Rekkles, playing against Lucian, played by Cloud9's Sneaky. We've got Earth Freeplay playing the Zyra against Alistar, played by Leopard. And then a couple characters from the Korean alphabet, which do not display in my League of Legends client. So, don't know what they are, but it is kind of cool to see Alistar in this game. He is one that gets banned a lot in the LCS games. I don't know if that's going to be the case in Worlds, but I know in LCS he gets banned a lot, just because it's hard to tell what exactly is going to happen with him. Because he can go as either a support or as a top lane. And either way, it's going to be really unpleasant for you. So, a lot of times you do see him getting banned. Ooh, is he going to go for this? He's going to go for this. Maokai is going down. Oh, he actually chooses to jump to the Lulu, thinking that she was going to come into tower range. She didn't. So he ended up jumping out of tower range, giving up that kill to Lulu there, and really getting nothing for it. I mean, granted, he wouldn't gotten anything anyway, but this way, he ended up, like, not even doing any damage to her. Lots of damage coming in here onto Rekkles, and he's forced to go ahead and back. Lucian is doing his best. In comes the teleport, though, from NG Susie. Balls. And, oh, down goes the Zyra, thanks to them running. Oh, Alistar punts Lucian out of the way, gets him to safety there. Riven's coming down, and we may see a dead Rekkles here. Vi is coming as well, and Lucian's still sticking around. These guys are coming in. Things are about to turn really bad for these guys. In goes the Riven, immediately stuns the Tristana. Down she goes, down Lulu goes to the Vi, and that was a very nicely executed double gank there. And that means Sneaky's going to be able to go ahead and shove this forward, get his CS back that he would have missed otherwise. And all in all, that ended up going really well for that red team. Now, yeah, they did lose the Zyra beforehand, but they ended up getting 2 kills because of it. They also gave up some CS top and a lot of pressure mid, actually. But we'll have to see if it ends up being worth it for them or not. I have a feeling it probably will be, as it is shutting down Rekkles and getting Sneaky fairly nicely fed. I mean, even without it, Sneaky's been doing pretty well against Rekkles, which kind of promising to me as a NA fan. But at the same time, it's Lucian versus Tristana. That's kind of the whole point of Lucian when the enemy has Tristana. In goes a gank here, though, and in goes the Riven as well. They land another stun, and that is a dead Orianna. Goes to the Riven. So, unfortunately there, for Ginkgo, had a pretty rough time there, and she's being camped, and it's not going well for her at all. In comes balls, I'm sorry. In comes high. Yikes. It's hard to map these in my head. In comes high to go ahead and mop up that CS anyway. And again, get some of that. He's been doing his best. I don't know how strong he is as a jungler. So, ooh, Riven took a tower shot there. She's going in on high. High, oh, he ends up going down. The shield did not quite make it. He tried to flash out. Ended up going down, and that is another kill there to Riven. I don't see Orianna doing anything to her. She may end up scouting this. She does. And forces the Riven to jump away. Not going to be able to finish her off. A bit of a battle up here between Lulu and Maokai. I don't know who's going to come out of this, but there are a lot of minions. There we go. Lulu manages to finish off that Maokai, and Balls secures another kill for himself. He is now 3-1-0. After that gank bot helping him a little bit there. That was him, right? Yeah, that was him. After that gank bot helping him out a decent amount, and then of course the kills onto Maokai, he's actually doing pretty well versus him up here, and he's actually having a pretty good time. Go ahead and put everybody in order here really quickly so that you guys can take a quick look at the CS. I like to have them lined up. I actually didn't do this when I first started casting. It was something that was requested of me a long time ago by now, but it was actually quite a ways into it before somebody said, hey, could you just drag those so that we could actually compare CS? And, you know, the thought hadn't occurred to me, but it's genius. Genius. So, yeah. Down to the bot lane, the CS-wise, actually, Sneaky is behind. He's behind Rekkles here, which is kind of surprising to me. I thought he'd been bullying him out, but apparently not as much as I thought. He's only 2 behind, but still, I thought that Tristana was behind, but actually it's nothing like that. And she's actually slightly ahead. Nope, now she's not. Well, she will be in a moment. So yeah, she's slightly ahead, 2 ahead. Looks like there's a gank coming in here onto the Kazakhs. Ulti there from Vi right off the bat. He's forced to ulti. They are still going in, but they get slowed by his W. Riven's going in. He jumps away. She's forced to run away. That is going to be a living Kazakhs. And the question is, are they going to go for these guys? It looks like yes. Out comes that Riven ulti. Does some damage to Alistar. Not nearly as much as they would really hope. And this is giving Orianna some time to free farm up there, which is not really good for them. They are going to get this dragon, which, honestly, that's very important. They forced the enemy jungler back, and they're going to be able to get this dragon. So that's actually a really huge thing right there. They didn't get any kills, but they got the dragon. Is it worth losing this CS and just pressure? Probably. It is a dragon, which means it's going to benefit the whole team. And, of course, Riven got most of the CS anyway, because she's Riven. and she was able to get there just in time. So, honestly, I would definitely say, yeah, that was worth it for them. And down in the bot lane, these guys are forced to fall back a little bit here. That is actually something we kind of saw in the NA LCS finals. While Lucian's pretty well regarded as a counter pick for Tristana, pretty much every game I saw Lucian picked to counter pick Tristana, Lucian ended up losing. Out comes the culling though, trying to do what he can. They're not going to be able to finish this off. There we go, jumps in, tries to finish off that Tristana, not going to end up happening though. But yeah, every time he ended up losing, which I don't know if it's something about NA not knowing how to play it, or if it's something else. Alright, so we've got a bit of a gank coming in up here. I was forced to restart as at 10:35? 10:34? Yeah, anyway. Right around there, there was actually a bit of a bug in mine, and it crashed that game. I don't know if it's something at that time, or... well, obviously it's not something at that time, but it might have been something else. But anyway, we've got a gank, or a little bit of a fight coming in here as the Riven is trying to go ahead and finish these people off. The Lulu was forced to flash over, Orianna came up, and there we go, Riven goes down, and Vi's going to do her best to finish off the Kha'Zix, but thanks to that Lulu, it's not going to end up happening, and Kha'Zix is actually going to be able to escape this. But yeah, the game actually crashed there, and it was because I decided to go ahead and go back in time. Apparently, I can't do that. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong with this particular recording of the game. So, no going back for me. If I do, it'll crash the game. So hopefully, I'll be able to get I'll be able to catch the action as it happens. Otherwise, we're gonna have a pretty bad time. So, should be able to. I did go ahead and start earlier than I had stopped that recording there because I wanted to see that happen. I wanted to see what was going on up there. We did. So, all in all, it's a win for me. It's not something to do with the game itself, it's just something to do with going back. I don't know if it would happen every time, but it's probably better not to risk it, and hopefully I'll be able to catch the action anyway. There we go. Got the flash there by trying to root there. Honestly, it's very important because had that not happened, she would have died. In goes the Vi now, in comes the Riven as well. That ultimate hit, that Tristana. In comes the Riven, but she did get locked up there a little bit. Alistar doing his best to just peel, and he did succeed. He goes down, but they managed to take down Riven and Vi before he goes down. Lucian wasn't there at all. They're going to be able to finish off that Zyra as well, and that ended up really not going well for them at all. And Lucian's going to be forced to fall back. They're going to be able to get this tower. There's really nothing that Lucian's going to be able to do. He already used the culling, so he can't clear out these minions. He fell back already. And that was a really nice play there for the blue team. They got in there and they just CC'd the heck out of Riven and Vi, who were the two gankers coming in. Just made sure they couldn't do anything until they were dead. And that's exactly what they needed to do. Meantime, yet again, Orianna is just shoving mid here. She's gotten a lot of damage in on this tower. And yeah, they've been roaming, getting kills and everything, but it's starting to be not worth it now. As we look at her CS, see, what is it? Wait, why are you here? Switch you around. She's actually 20 ahead of the Riven. 20 CS ahead of the Riven. Yes, Riven has 3 kills, 3 assists, which is a huge thing. I mean, if we look at the gold, Riven's still ahead. But that is a lot of CS there. So it's still mostly worth it there for Riven in particular because of the fact that, you know, she is ahead in gold. But given the fact that some of those ganks, like this last one, actually ended up giving up kills, it kind of throws it for a loop as to whether it was really worth it or not. They did manage to go ahead and get this turret because the enemy bot lane had to go back, which is definitely a good thing for them. But I'm not 100% certain that this is going to end up working out in their favor anymore, as of course Tristana scales massively late game. She's now 113 with 103 CS, which actually is slightly behind there, but not enough. Not enough. And we'll have to see if she ends up coming back into this. Honestly, in my opinion, she probably will be able to come back into this. I have a feeling that we will see a blue team victory. No promises, but that's my guess. There we go. The Kha'Zix was forced away from this red. He didn't manage to steal it. So nicely done there by them. And he does manage to go ahead and take down that pink ward. Vi says, you know, no, screw you. I'm coming in. And she does indeed now, following up with the ulti. In goes Riven. Not going to be able to get there in time. Zyra and Lucian are both on their way up here as well. And the blue team said, well, go for the tower. Go for that mid tower. And immediately, Alistar and Tristana did just that. They are shoving this hard. Red team's going to be able to get this tower if they actually go for it. Instead, it looks like they're going for the kills here. Just kidding, they got the tower. Missed that. But the blue team got mid tower, and they're continuing to shove. They've got Tristana. Tristana takes down towers like that. And she's doing just that. It's already down to half. They're going to lose 2 towers for 1. They didn't get any kills. They didn't get much of anything at all. And they ended up losing those 2 towers. That is a very, very poor play on their part. And that definitely tilted it back into the blue team's favor. On the plus side for the red team, they do have everybody here, so they might be able to finish off this tower, but it doesn't look like they're going to. They don't have Lucian, which is one of the biggest tower killers for their team. And, of course, they don't really have anybody now because they're all going back except for Zyra. Zyra's forced to fall back. She will be able to get out of this. But they didn't get the tower. Lucian's down here shoving bot again. He's going to try to go ahead and get that farm continuing up. Tristana is now caught up with him again. So, again, that shutdown bot from Lucian just, it doesn't seem to work for NA. Like I was saying before, I don't know if that's an issue of NA not knowing how to play it, or if it's an issue of it being overestimated. From what I understand, it's played in Korea to great effect, so it's probably not the overestimation thing. But I don't know. I just don't know. They are going to be able to get this dragon, though. It's going down. Yeah, it's gone already. Kha'Zix tried jumping in, did not end up working. Out comes that Zyra ulti. Down goes Kha'Zix. Orianna forced to flash. Vi is following her up, but she goes down to Tristana. The Alistar is tanking a lot of the damage. He's actually, yeah, he's going to go down. He's going to flash over this wall. I think he'll still go down. In goes the Lucian. Oh! Oh, that was so close. Had he been attack moving into that bush, that Orianna might now be dead. But she ended up getting out, and Lulu's up here shoving the wave again. Well, not again for her, but they're going to lose another tower, possibly. Because they don't seem to be going up there. Vi's on her way, and the Zyra is as well. Okay, she didn't have enough minions anyway. And in the meantime, the red team not really going for this mid tower at all. I mean, they were you know, shoving it forward and everything. But Maokai decided to go for the people under the tower instead of going for the tower itself. And that just got him killed again. Lulu just took down... I want to see exactly what happened there. It looks like the Zyra got a little bit too far up. And Lulu just ended up finishing her. Actually, no, she's not gone yet. The Vi came in, and she's actually doing pretty well. Oh! The Zyra stuck around a little too long. Had she not gotten greedy, she actually probably... she definitely would have been fine. But she decided to go in, try to root the Lulu up, and it ended up getting her killed. So, yeah, got a kill for the Vi at least, but unfortunately, it ended up giving up a kill as well. So, unfortunately, I actually did try to do another back there, because I was like, oh, we'll try to risk it. It is definitely 100% going back that causes the issue there. If I use the backspace key, which is pretty much that thing. If I use that, it'll do it. As long as I don't do that, we're actually okay. So, down goes the Kha'Zix again, as well as the Orianna. And red team's doing their best to fight their way back into this. And that's definitely a good sign for them. I will definitely be avoiding using the jump back 15 seconds functionality on this, because every time I do, it crashes. So, that's why there was a little bit of a hiccup there. It was kind of strange. Yeah, that was why. Red team is going for this tower, though, finally, and they may actually be able to get it. I think Sneaky's going to be able to do this. And he goes onto the Lulu, forces her to get out of there as soon as possible. Alistar's tanking it up, and he's fine. He's Alistar. He doesn't care about damage. He's going to be able to get out of this with no problem. And now the blue team has decided to turn this. Alistar goes in and hits both Lucian and Zyra. Out comes the Zyra ulti. Orianna's able to finish off the Zyra, though. Riven finishes off Alistar, but Kha'Zix is able to take down Maokai. Riven was able to get the return kill there onto Tristana, however, which is huge for them, because Tristana is a huge part of this blue team. And now we see the red team continuing to shove here, going for this tower. Oh, down goes Kha'Zix. Is Sneaky going to be able to get out? He does, by just barely dodging that Orianna ball. He's going to be able to get out unless... Yeah, it was pretty risky there. He's still here. What? Pops the heal. He's going to be fine. Okay. He was definitely getting really greedy there. I definitely I was getting kind of worried. In goes Riven, gonna try to finish off the Orianna. Might be able to do it. Yeah, down goes the Orianna. And that is an unstoppable Riven right there. Things have just kind of changed around in the past, like, minute and a half, I'd say. It was before, I was saying, no, there's no way the blue team can lose. Now, there's a way. It's still unlikely, in my opinion, but it's a possibility. So we'll have to see what ends up happening here. They still have Tristana, and they still have a lot of really end-game scariness. But on the other hand, I mean, so does the red team in Maokai here. Maokai is just really good endgame from what I've seen. So that's why he was so heavily pick-banned in the LCS. Lots of pings here onto Baron, oddly. Blue team's coming on over here to possibly, you know, just ward it up and stuff. I'm not sure if the red team is warding it to say, let's do it. I would imagine it's just, hey, go ward this. But, no, they're actually going for it. Kha'Zix just went back, and the blue team really has no idea that this is going on. Maokai put up his ult to go ahead and reduce the damage to his team, so this is actually going to be a free Baron here for this red team. Blue team, I'm kind of surprised because they walked right here, and they didn't ward it at all. Had Alistar warded it, had Tristana used her trinket, is her trinket off cooldown? No, she's got Scrying Orb, so doesn't have the ability to ward there. Ooh, wow. Rekkles is getting really low here. Is he going to go down? Yeah, he's going to go down to that Vi. Vi finishes her off. The Lucian was able to finish off the Alistar as well, and in comes a teleport here from the Riven. Vi now has to get out. She's going to go down, though, but they're going to tower dive the Lulu. Down she goes, does her best, but is not able to finish off the Riven thanks to that Riven shield. And Kha'Zix coming in for the cleanup. Just kidding. Gets the Zyra alone. Not going to get any other cleanup, though. And he may end up going down to the Lucian. No, he doesn't. He got Maokai and got the heck out of there thanks to that reset. So, nicely done there. Got out, but they did lose their tower. Red team got the tower, and now they say, hey, Dragon's up in 50 seconds. Let's go at least ward it up. Them having this Baron, getting this Baron, and possibly getting that Dragon is really big for them. That definitely put them back in the lead here, as you can see by the gold totals. And things aren't looking good for the blue team right now. They aren't looking bad. Whereas before, you know, they were looking great for the blue team. Blue team was just getting things everywhere. Now things are just kind of looking neutral for them. If they could keep this up, then it's going to start looking really bad for them. And instead, the blue team's going to come, the red team's going to come out ahead. So they need to turn this around because this might be the way to do it, actually. There we go. They're warding up around the dragon. They know it's coming up as well. But red team's not really converging here yet. Maokai is sitting over there at Wraiths. Lulu's on her way over, though, so it's okay. But if he still sits there, does he have Telly? He does have Telly, but it'd be better if he just came over here instead of chilling out at the Wraith. His team's fighting, man. Alright, Lucian goes in with the culling. Does a little bit of damage to the enemy team. Doesn't really do too much, though. And right now, this is a 4v5. Because guys just... Alright, red team oddly decides to engage on the dragon here. They do grab it. In comes that Maokai teleport. Vi ults right there. And down goes the Kha'Zix. Lucian takes him down. Orianna ult gets Riven, but only Riven. Vi's coming around here going for that Orianna. Orianna's getting pretty low. I honestly think she's probably going to die here. Maokai and her are going for that. Lucian was able to finish off the Kha'Zix down there, and Riven is just ripping people apart, doing her best to finish off the Lulu down. Lulu's not gone yet. She does manage to shut down the Riven, which is great news for her. And now the question is she going to be able to get out of this? She whimsies herself, speeds herself up. She actually should be able to get out of this with her life. The red team needs to shove here, and that's exactly what they're doing. And yeah, they're just going to go ahead and shove down this mid lane, hopefully get a tower out of this. I believe they should. They've got Lucian, who's really good at taking down towers. And of course, they've got Vi, who's got a decent amount of damage herself. They should be able to get this tower and get the heck out before anything bad happens to them. There we go. Down goes the tower. There we go. Now they need to back off. And they are indeed doing just that. They're backing off. Gonna be able to go by with what they just got there. I mean, Lucian's got 1,800 gold. Yeah, that's pretty big right there. Not that. Restarting the game, by the way, is why they got out of order earlier. I didn't notice. You'd think I would have. But no, I didn't even think about it. But now everybody's back in order again. Oddly, they weren't even all that out of order anyway, so doesn't really matter too much, but does matter a little bit. Lulu has 171 CS versus Mayokai with 106. That right there is a huge difference. Honestly, a large part of that's probably attributed to the fact that, you know, it's a professional player playing the Lulu. And to the best of my knowledge, it is not a professional player playing that Mayokai. Not always what you'll see, but a lot of times that is the sort of thing you can see. Especially given the fact that these guys are still ranking up. So they're not against the best of the best yet. It's not like this is all challengers or anything. They are against the lower diamond, which a lot of people have said is a huge difference between upper and lower. There they go. Gonna finish off the Kazakhs there. Down he goes to Sneaky. It's kind of funny because it's High getting killed by Sneaky, but down he goes, and the red team has definitely turned this around now. They're doing their best to shove down this mid lane. The blue team really doesn't have that much in the way of wave code. They've got Orianna, who's decent at it, but not all that great. But on the plus side for them, red team doesn't have minions yet. They're on the way. They're getting close, but they're not there yet. I don't know that the red team's going to be able to get the tower off of this. They're going to try at least do some damage to it. I don't think they'll be able to get the tower off. Kazakhs is back up now. If they decided to dive far enough to, you know, start actually attempting to kill the tower, I think it would result in their death. So instead, they really didn't do too much. They got a little bit of damage off it. I think like 1 or 2 shots, but that's about it. And now they're forced to fall back. Kazakhs going for that Zyra, and she went the wrong direction. Forced to ulti, but she's not going to be able to survive. She's going to go down. And that was a pretty bad mistake there. The team didn't stick together. They split apart, and when they were running away, of course, by that time it was too late. Ooh, who got that? Kazakhs got that. Forced to go ahead and smite it, so it does mean it's not going to go to Orianna. But didn't go to Vi either. Sneaky going for Alistar here along with Riven, and Alistar got stunned up. He's going to end up going down here. Sneaky doing a lot of damage. Out comes that Alistar ulti, showing off that tankiness. In comes the Kazakhs, get ulted by Vi, but finally down goes that Alistar. And it's currently a 3 versus 4 here. Things aren't looking too good for the red team though, because they've got to run. Tristana jumps in, gonna try to finish off Sneaky. Flashes, out comes the heal, not gonna be good enough. Shut down there. She jumps over to go ahead and finish off the Vi, and she should be able to do it. Yes, she does manage to do it. Riven's gonna be able to get out of this okay, but they still lost a large part of their team there. I'm kind of surprised they decided to engage on that, given the fact that Mayokai was bot. I guess they thought they could pick off Alistar really quickly, but that is rarely the case. Very rarely are you able to quickly pick off an Alistar. He is so tanky. And now the red team is forced to defend this tower. In comes Mayokai, pops up that ultimate, but it's still a 4 versus 3. Mayokai forced to run. He's going to go down to Tristana there, and that is Rekkles with a killing spree now. That is terrible news there for this red team. They've managed to go ahead and re-throw this back into the blue team's favor. Lots of throws. It's kind of interesting to see. Oh, that was my Skype. Sorry. Yeah, he's gonna be able to get out of this. It's interesting to see because, you know, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's only an anything." Wait, what was Kazakhs doing? All right, so he apparently decided to come on over here for Red Buff, and he wasn't picked up by a ward or anything, but these guys somehow knew about it, and they ended up catching him out there. Nice route there by the nice route there by the Zyra, just making sure that he didn't escape that. And now he's down. That is a jungler down for the blue team, and that yet again tells the red team time to go for Baron. Riven going ahead, zoning off the enemy team in the meantime. And she's now coming in here to help them with this Baron, which is already half dead. Orianna's way the heck back in base. Shoshana's way the heck back in base. This is another free Baron here for that red team. And all of that really hinged off of this catch right here. So that's kind of surprising to me. By the way, yeah, apparently once the game gets this far in, somehow even going back on this thing doesn't work. Because I did it that way and it crashed again. So no more going back at all in the past. Don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if it's just this game. I hope so, because otherwise I'm going to have a bad time. But it looks like we do have a bit of a fight possibly shaking up here. Teleport came in from Mayokai, and we've got all 5 members of both teams here. Lots of warding going on, as usual. Just making sure that the vision is not there or there, both simultaneously, because that's how things work. There we go. Wards and everything. A little bit of a catch there. Lucian shoving up here because he's got a huge minion wave, and these guys are occupied down there. He's going to be able to get some damage onto this tower while the rest of the blue team's over there. But now they're forced to back off as they start coming over here. And now red team says, alright, we'll go back to the mid lane. Now they're actually just kind of bouncing back and forth right now, trying to find the best lane to go for. Mayokai's continuing to shove up over here. Kind of surprised by how squishy he seemed against Tristana. He actually has a Sunfire Cape and only a Sunfire Cape, so that's actually kind of it. In goes the Vi, decides to dive deep. She's going for that Tristana pump up there from the Lulu, means that Riven does not get into there. Out comes that Zyra ulti though. Alistar tanking tons of damage again. He's gonna go down, but in the meantime, he just saved the rest of his team. Or not, because they end up going down too. Sneaky, not gonna go down, and that is 4 members of the red team up versus 2 members of the blue team. But those 2 members of the blue team are fully healed, and the red team not even close. Mayokai getting low. Root comes out onto Lulu. I don't know that they'll be able to catch this. Red buff doing his best. Down goes the Zyra. That's a reset. Tristana trying to secure those kills. 1 auto attack. Another auto attack might be enough to finish off Mayokai. It doesn't look like... Oh, the speed boost. The speed boost. Another auto attack. Another auto attack. Down goes Mayokai. Reset. She's going now for the Vi. She does not have red buff. Vi's going to be able to escape. But that all, in large part, came from that Lulu there, getting those speed boosts off onto Tristana, getting her into range to get those resets, and that allowed her to secure those kills. Now, both teams are pinging the dragon here. Orianna and Alistar seem to be on their way. Riven kind of seems to be on her way. We'll see what ends up happening there. Honestly, I don't think Riven's going to be able to stop this. 5 members of the blue team are up. She's the only one here. If she decides to try to stop this, she's going to die. Tristana's coming in from the side. She's going to be forced to back off. Not able to finish off that ward. Yeah, this is going to be a free dragon, I think for the first time here, actually, for the blue team. And now the red team just needs to regroup. Blue's going to Lucian here, amusingly enough. Red team says, hey, let's shove this top. But honestly, right now, I'm not sure they 100% can, as the blue team seems to be content to shove this. Kha'Zix is over there farming. Little bit of a... No, they're actually going back in this bush. Okay, and... No, we're not going to see anything. Darn. They got me all excited, because I was like, oh, they're going to go there. No, they're not. They're just going to go shove it. And in the mid lane, we've got Riven and Vi shoving as well. Lucian and Zyra are on their way up, but they're still a ways back. Now it's a 4-man party here. Mayokai is, again, the only one not with the group here. He's on his way down. He'll be here soon. He'll be here soon. And when that happens, we might actually see a bit of an engagement. Right now, it looks like the red team is pinging that top lane, though, saying, hey, we need to go for this. So, no engagement quite yet. And indeed, they are backing off. Vi's going back to go buy something. And lots of CS about to go to Lucian. As a side note, I discovered today that Sivir is ridiculously nice to CS with. It feels great. Launch the Q, launch your Ws, and yeah, you're done. You just cleared an entire wave. Yeah. My first time playing Sivir, and it was... I liked it. It was in Team Builder, so of course I ended up being against people who were a bit below my silver skill level. At least I think so. I don't know. I didn't look at them. But I assumed they were. And unfortunately, that's how it happens a lot of the time. Got a bit of an engagement here. They managed to get the flash off at Kha'Zix, but not much more than that for the moment. They are all grouped up here. In they go onto Lucian. Nice interruption of the Lucian ultimate there, but didn't really matter too much. He still ended up taking a lot of damage. And red team is all here. Binding comes out onto Tristana. She gets Lulu ulti, but she gets Vi ulti as well. And there is a huge engagement going on here. Out comes the Zyra ulti. Not going to pop anybody up, but Alistar is finally going to die right off the bat. There we go. Down he goes. The Mayokai is just soaking up the damage here. He's finally going to go down. But of course, in the meantime, the Lucian has successfully killed a lot of people. That is going to be a dead Orianna very quickly there. She goes down. There are 4 members again of this red team still here. but Kha'Zix and Tristana, the reset kings and queens, are still here. Down goes the Zyra, down goes Kha'Zix, but I think this is going to just be a cleanup crew here for that Tristana. Not going to be able to finish off the Vi, but ends up turning this from a massive swing for the red team to an even match. So it's one of the things about the reset team. Tristana and Kha'Zix, once they start getting those kills, you're going to have a bad time because they'll both be jumping. And that's exactly what we saw there. I mean, it was only 2, but the team fight had gotten the red team so low that as soon as those 2 went in, they got a kill. And they immediately jumped again to go get another kill. And they ended up taking out almost the entire red team in about a half a second. Minor exaggeration, perhaps. So the red team ended up not getting much at all, and blue team actually got some kills out of it. Yeah, both teams got the same number of kills, but again, remember the scaling issues of this Tristana. The Maokai does have Thornmail now, so that's going to help a lot. Because, he, like I said, before, he was definitely feeling really weak against that Tristana. Every time she would auto-attack, he lost a ton of health. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case quite as much anymore. So, we may end up seeing a little bit of a different fight going on now. But I'm not altogether certain. We'll have to see how that ended up happening. There's a huge wave down here being pressed by the minions. So, this may end up giving the red team the opportunity to go ahead and shove this. Because for at least a little bit, the blue team was going down there to go ahead and shove it back. Not going to end up happening now. Red team's now walking around, clearing up wards again. Baron's up in 7. So we may see a Baron attempt here from the red team. If they decide to go for this one, with the enemy team fully up and all around, it may not end up going quite as well. There we go. They are here, and they are actually not going for it. They are just getting in position to go ahead and ambush. In they go. And Vi goes straight for this ults. The Tristana doing her best. She gets Lulu ulted though. And down goes the Maokai almost right off the bat. Nice Zhonya's from Lulu means she's going to live. The Guardian Angel keeping Riven alive for right now. She's forced to jump back. Right now it's a 1-for-1. Down goes the Kha'Zix though. 2-for-1 now. 1 kill to Lucian, 1 kill to Zyra. And the blue team is on the run. Lucian is going to be able to get another kill. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. Yeah, he is, actually. Tristana goes down. Orianna not going to go down. She manages to finish him off. And now Zyra is trying to chase down the Lulu. Gets the slow on her, but Lulu, of course, has her own speed buff. So she is going to be able to get out of this. But nicely played there by the Orianna. Using that Zhonya's to go ahead and keep herself alive. And then just instantly destroying Lucian when he comes at her. Unfortunately, Lucian was able to get the Tristana as well. That is another tower here for the red team. And they've got another explosion hit. Lulu forced to ulti herself. In goes the Riven trying to finish off the Orianna. I think she might get it. Oh no. Apparently, the bug has spread because we now have this as well for that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity. I really want this game to go out there because I really want to see... I want you guys to be able to see this game in particular. It's actually only 1 minute off, so it ended up being a win here for the blue team, actually. And the Lulu ended up going 13-for-17. This sucks, because this is actually on the Korean server. So, unfortunately, it looks like the bug is spreading. So, I'm... maybe a little bit before I'm able to do that. For my next video, I'll do my best to go ahead and find something, a server that doesn't have this bug. If not, then I'm really sorry. I may end up delaying it. If you don't want me to delay it and you're okay with seeing this, let me know. But otherwise, I'll probably end up delaying it until the bug is fixed or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. Sorry we don't get to see the end. Unfortunately, that is a riot bug right now, and there's really not much I can do about it. So I will see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.